Hi, it's Matt Bauer from Bauer Tree Equipment, and we are working on an older 763 Bobcat skid steer. I was plowing snow a couple days ago and something broke, and what broke was the drive chain to the rear wheels right here. So after hours of struggling, we got it from the bottom of my driveway up to the shop, towing it in gear, of course, because although this wheel is sliding, all of these work. So we had to compensate for the one wheel not doing anything by towing it behind a tractor. And anyway, what we're going to do is get in here. We already got in and pulled the old chain out. We have to take that plate off, and then there's an access plate under this that we have to get off, which means removing all of this stuff, which there are other videos out there that show you how to do it. It's really no big deal. And we got it jacked up, jack under the front axle. The jacks I had were too big to fit under the rear axle, so they went to the support points there. Tell you what we're dealing with, right? Broken chain, pretty extreme conditions I'm dealing with. I got really lucky in that when I was in the shop trying to find some replacement chain, an old rancher came in and saw me with this and said, "Hey, what you trying to do with your roller chain there?" And I said, "I'm trying to replace it." And he said, "Well, what is that, number 80? I said, "Yeah, heavy duty or standard?" And I said, "I really don't know. I think it's probably heavy duty." And he said, "I got a whole bunch of that stuff up in the shop. Why don't you come on up and I'll fix you up." And he did. Great old guy. Wanted to charge me 20 bucks for this length of chain. It's worth a couple $100. I paid him 60. Couple of things though. I'm convinced that the original is heavy duty chain. The dimensions are a little bit different, but it should. This is 80H, which is heavy duty. So I think we're good to go. I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be standard. There is going to be a problem with the master links. We've got two different kinds here. One's clearly lighter than the other, and the length, the width of these is going to be different. So what we're probably going to have to do is first verify that we don't have any other broken parts in here once you pull it all apart, which Angela will be doing right now. And so make sure there isn't another link in there. Verify that we have the length right, and then we are just going to have to weld those master links in place. So wish us luck. Hopefully this will go easy. What time is it? Look at that.
12:57.
12:57. So we'll see how long it takes. I'm hoping for like 2 hours. We already pried on this wheel to make sure the bearings are good, and I think they are. And we'll just see what other trouble we run into. All right, Ange? All right. All right, update. So we're taking the front plate off. We're working on the middle plate. We got the back plate off, which I've had off before. And what we found, look at all that filthy, dirty, horrible fluid. Look at that. Full of water too. Now here's a funny thing. It's been like 25 degrees out lately. This is what I found in the bottom of the case. And that is turd colored ice. Turd ice ball right there. Snowball. Look at that. I pulled all of that out of the bottom of the case. So what's happened is the center the center cover was missing like 4 bolts, and when you're missing a bolt, you got a hole going directly into the case. And for years, it's just been supping up whatever water comes down on this thing. Now this machine I got from an auction, I don't know, a year or two ago. We never really opened it up and checked it out. I just serviced the engine, did a little work back there. Everything seemed to work okay, so we just ran it. And now I'm finding out I really should have serviced the thing when it came in. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with. So yeah, we definitely have to take this entire front plate right here. This whole thing, it has to come off. Got a series of bolts that thread right into the frame. We're having to use a tool to get them out, a heating tool. Unfortunately, we ran out of oxygen on this settling, so we don't have that. But we do have, where's that tool? Hold that up, Angie. We bought one of these things a little while ago, first time we used it. It's working. It can only run for about a minute or two before it overheats and shuts off, but that's enough time to get a couple of bolts out. So anyway, yeah, no way this is going to take 2 hours. So far we've gotten most of the bolts. One of them broke. Huh?
The pan. Another one.
Anyway. And there we have it. All right. Just got the plate off. Look at this. Look at that. Jeez.
Nice.
All right. So that's what it is. Bunch of water. That didn't help things.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Look at that. All right, new day. 6.5 hours yesterday to get it this far. Got the chain on. You can see what we did is welded this link. Hang on, right there. You did that because it didn't have a, the snap-on type of master link. And then I had to grind it down because it was going to stick up too much. There's barely enough room right here for those to pass by each other. So, welding a little bit of grinding with an angle grinder, or a die grinder, I guess. Anyway, so now AW32 is going in, hydraulic fluid. I think that's okay. I hear reference that you can use the same hydraulic fluid that you're using in the tank, or you can use 1030 motor oil. Hydraulic fluid's a lot cheaper. So that should work out fine. We're cleaning up the plates. We're making gaskets over here, getting ready to put it all back together. We'll see how it goes. And that's it. All done, all back together, all tested. About 7.5 hours yesterday to put it back together. No great surprises. Oh boy, I don't even know what to say here. Yeah, you know what I really like about this is pretty much all of the bolts used are 3/8 with 9/16 heads. So I think we only had to go to 1/2 inch a couple of times. And that makes life real easy when you're just using one size wrench for virtually everything. So just took a long time, a lot of little bits and pieces. Keep track of what you take apart, so when you put it back together, it all goes. And here's one thing, the control rods here, right? Now watch this, right? Those are your drive controls. See that? Your initial setting on these is to we bungeed the control lever all the way forward like that. And then you put a rope right here and pull it all the way forward. So this is held back. The control back there, hydraulic control, was held back in the full forward position. And then you set your nuts right here, tighten them up. So that's your initial setting. And that will take you a long way. Then you have it up on blocks, put the shell down, start it up, and your wheels should spin at the same pace forward, okay, which is something we had a problem with before. And what I did is I simply painted a mark on each tire and then rotated full forward throttle, or just full forward at an idle, and paste it 1, 2, 3 on one side, then you look at the other side. 2, 3, and it's the same rhythm, so it's the same speed. And it wasn't doing that before. Also found a problem back here at my idler pulley. It has a broken spring on it. So I added a spring, pulled it back. That will hold up for a while. I'll explain that one noise. And then another thing is right here. There's a lot of slop in there. There shouldn't be any slop. That should be nice and tight. Both of these control rods on either side. So that means I've got to take that whole section apart and rebuild it. There are a bunch of bushings in there. It's supposed to be really tight, no play. And that explains why at an idle, you know, the one side will, the left side will spin freely. And it's hard to get it into position where that wheel will stop and be in the neutral position. And that's because there's so much slop on that side. Anyway, got the chains back on, and I'm about to hitch up to my plow and start dealing with all of this. So let's get in the sun here. Flip around. There I am. Thanks for watching. Got any questions, put it in the comment section and I'll try to answer. All right, take care.